Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Jessica Peterson here. I am so excited to have David Welch here. Hello, David.
Hi, how's everyone?
Doing awesome over here in Colorado. And how's your day over there in Alabama?
Fantastic. Best day I've ever had.
Well, I am excited to go ahead and connect with you. I hear many good things about you from many people all over the US. So you have a stellar reputation, not just in Alabama, but outside of Alabama, and that's impressive. And I've been on your website many times, and already I'm looking at being a customer. So that's exciting, right?
Thank you.
That's always exciting. So please share with everyone who you are, about your company, how it evolved. I would love to hear more.
Awesome. So my name's David Welch. I originally grew up in Jasper, Alabama. It's about an hour north of Birmingham, where our business is currently located. And I have a wife and two kids, and we started this business as a juncture to serve others and basically give them the opportunity to um, shop in a place that is less intimidating, less volatile, and at a cost that's much more appeasing to them than most typical retail stores. So, with that idea in mind, we started the business about 8.5 years ago, and very low overhead concept. We keep stock here, and but very low overhead. There's not a lot of frills. There's not a fancy storefront, and it's just you just get us every day. Nothing dressed up, nothing fancy. We present the product to you. It's a good, better, best scenario, and it's just real simple. It's not anything it's not overwhelming information that just confuses you. So then that's what we like to do. We like to keep it simple here and get a bed that helps you get the sleep that you deserve.
That's great. So what inspired, so I love that you enjoy being of service to people. What inspires you to be in the furniture or bed business?
Well, if I'm completely honest, we kind of fell into this whole arena, and I'd always wanted to be in business, and I never thought mattresses and furniture would be what I would be doing, but having the business of my own was certainly appealing. And, once we started, it was kind of a rocky start, but we stuck with it. And it was that aspect of just helping people and, the access that I have to the furniture and mattresses, it was easier than some other avenues. So that made it more compelling to me to where I could, keep the mental and physical part of it both intertwined with the business, because that was important to me. I like being physical, and I like also using my brains for the business. So that really drove me to continue the mattress and furniture field. And starting out, we did a couple of other things and just kind of honed down to the mattresses and furniture, and that's what we do now. That's our focus, and that's how we serve folks.
So did you start at another furniture store or mattress store, have family in it, or?
No, I didn't. I had been in management with a couple of other companies, larger retail, and just decided that was not the avenue that was the most effective for me. I enjoyed being around people, but not necessarily managing people so much. And so the aspect of being able to have the business of my own, that was a really awesome thing. But yeah, I did not start out in the mattress and furniture, other retail, and that gave me some great experience to use with the business, just with the interaction and systems here at the store. So.
That's great. That's awesome. So 8.5 years, that's impressive. What's been the secret to your success?
I think showing up every day, getting up and going to work. It's a lot different in business when it's your dime versus someone else's, and just the opportunity to again serve everyone. I think in some of my other fields I had not had that opportunity. I was basically a number and just going through the process every day. Now I get up and there's somebody's life that I can literally change. That seems kind of far-fetched with a mattress, but you really can change someone's life with their sleep.
So speaking of that, what are there any stories or testimonials or raving fans that really stand out to you of someone you've impacted with your mattress?
There is. I mean, most recently we sold an adjustable base to. He's a car dealer, and he sleeps with a lot of previously with a lot of pain on his side and in his hip, and he's been on the base now for about 6 months, and I actually purchased a vehicle from him recently, and it was then he told me that the bed had actually changed his life. It eliminated his hip pain. He's sleeping differently than he was before. So that was I was a little taken back by that, but it's that story, and that's the most recent awesome story that I have, and it was just it really hits home because you really do affect people more than you think you do every day. So it's worth waking up for and having that opportunity.
That's awesome. Yeah, a bed, makes or breaks your whole day. I mean, you spend a good chunk of your life in a bed, so you might as well invest in one. And I know that you really like to educate people outside of the standard traditional beds because there's better options, save people money. Is that correct? Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, there's definitely options. I think a lot of people get hung up on big brand names, and we have some smaller companies that we utilize, and some of the best beds that you've never heard of come from these companies. They tend to put a little more TLC into their products. Mm-hmm. And, with that being said, it's just utilizing that aspect is certainly something that helps us, serve the customers.
That's great. And I know you guys ship all over the U.S. And what impresses me is custom beds. You do custom beds. We even had that conversation on tiny homes. I can imagine people need to have custom beds. That's phenomenal. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a great need for that. RVs, boats, tree houses, in-laws. That's a one-liner, by the way. But yeah, we've made most recently we made a mattress for a sailboat, and it was larger than a regular king mattress, and it had lots of different twists and cuts on it. So it's an interesting process, but that's certainly another way that we stand out from our competition is doing the customized bedding. So you give us an idea and we can basically make it happen, whether it's a square bed, a round bed, a triangle bed, we can make it happen. So.
Awesome. And are the beds American made? I wasn't quite sure on that.
The custom beds are American made. We utilize some other companies here in Alabama. So they are, most of the products we have here are made in the USA. There are some, imported products as far as the furniture and mattresses, but primarily the made in USA products are what we do here.
Okay. No, that's really good to know. Now you mentioned you have a wife and 2 kids.
I do.
So what's your wife's name? How long you been married?
My wife's name's Marion, and we've been married about 10 years. Okay. And my kids are 8 and 5. Stella's 8 and Max is 5. So it's wild at my house.
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. How did you and your wife meet?
Well, this is kind of a funny story. We actually met singing karaoke, and I stole her heart with Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash.
Oh, wow. So you're a singer. Are you going to sing for us?
I guess you could say a little bit on the side, not anything professional, but I do a mean Johnny Cash and Aaron Neville impression. So.
You remind me of a business every time you buy something, they sing. So do you do that over at the Ultimate Mattress, or do you sing?
I haven't yet, but I may start if it's.
I think you should. I think that would be fun.
That's another way to stand out. So.
A fun way. By the way, what is your website, David? Can you please state it so everyone can go there and check you out?
Sure. The website is myultimatemattress.com.
Perfect. And I love the name Ultimate. I put on a conference. It was a huge success called Ultimate Women's Conference this past year. I love that term, Ultimate. How did you come up with that term?
Well, I actually did not come up with the term. One of my mentors and coaches helped me come up with the name. The business, when we started, actually used to be called Wholesale Quality Furnishings, and you really had no idea what we did. So with meeting with my coach and mentor, we came up with this name, and it really gave us a position and some identity, and that's really changed the business dramatically.
Cool. And you said something earlier, you've always had a desire to be an entrepreneur. At how young of an age did you know that?
I think I knew that at 7, because I love to get outside and do all the yard work at mom and dad's house. That was kind of my thing, to take care of the yard, and that eventually led into high school. I had a small yard business that I would cut several yards. So I always knew that I liked to work for myself, and I always liked to know that I'd like to do things a particular way to get it done right. So.
That's awesome. I always love to hear stories like that. What did you love to do as a kid besides yard work? You should come over to my place.
I might get lots of invitations after this.
I know you might get. You gotta be careful what you say. So, what else did you love to do?
Yeah, I'm very passionate about fishing. My father and I, we fished a lot as a child. We still do, and that's very near and dear to my heart, and that's what I love to do the most. I enjoy the outdoors a lot. So. Just being outside and fishing, camping, as long as I'm outside, I'm happy. So
that's funny. I bet you have an awesome mattress when you go camping.
Well, it's kind of hard to take some of the mattress with you, but that's an interesting avenue to explore also.
Awesome. So you love the outdoors, and what kind of fishing? Any particular, just any?
Mostly freshwater fishing. We have grew up on a 25,000 acre lake, not far from my home, and that's where we spent most of our time. So, and it was just really, really easy access to come and go. And, Dad and I have spent many hours out there, and just, there's never a bad moment out there. It's just, pure bliss.
I love it. So, who's your favorite famous singer?
Well, Johnny Cash would be one. So I'm definitely into the older country styles. I love jam bands as well. So like the Allman Brothers, the Chris Stapleton. He's the new guy out that's really, really soulful. I love him. But yeah, I love music. So love country and jam bands.
That's awesome. Do you have any big company parties or events with bands, country music, anything?
No, we haven't had any company parties yet, but ironically, soon we'll be having a band through a local marketer that's going to come in and do some spots while laying on a mattress here. So that's going to be kind of interesting to have the band in store here. So.
Oh, awesome. So what would you say your purpose or calling in life is, if someone asked you that?
I think it's really to help others and help people laugh, help people see the bright side of life, help people sleep better, help people know that there is ways, with all the difficulties in life, there are still awesome things to look forward to. And just the togetherness of family and the importance of that. I think I serve a big purpose here just by with my own family, setting an example with them. And so that's a super big question, as far as my purpose in life. But I think it is to help others and give them a gift of belonging and laughter.
That's awesome. How would someone describe you, if they could describe you in 3 words? What would it be, David?
I think dedicated, loyal, and determined. Those would be my top 3 attributes, I believe.
Awesome. I can see that in the short time I've known you. Any fun stories from childhood you want to share and put in this book, or?
Well, I'll tell you one. I was a mascot in my high school. I was a Viking, so that was a fun deal there. I was the first, I believe I was the first mascot in school history, and I like to say the best. But that was a fun deal. I got to ride my ship out onto the field, and it blew smoke, and I had the whole costume. So that was a lot of fun, and I still get people that come up to me and talk about those times. And the only thing I wish that would have been in the age of smartphones, because there have been a lot more video and sharing of that. So that's the only downside of that. But it was a great time.
Absolutely. Any photos or pictures of it?
I do have some. I do
Oh,
have
that'd
some.
be cool. I'd love to see it. We should put that in, the book possibly. So I would love to see those photos. Have you been to any high school reunions, any of them?
To tell you the truth, I have not, but we have one coming up here in the next year, so I plan to go to that. So
Okay. What year is that one?
that'll be the 20-year.
Oh, wow. You know what? My 20 years gone and past, so I'm aging myself.
You wear it
Um,
well. You look great.
oh, well, thank you. But they didn't have one.
Well, that's a shame.
I know it is a shame. It was a small country town, though, so
Yeah,
it's okay. It wasn't that big of a class. How big was your class, your graduating class, David?
I believe it was about 300. I want to say.
Okay, that's a pretty good size.
Yes, fair size.
It's fair size. Well, I'm excited when you go. You have to keep all of us posted.
Yeah,
I'll have to
definitely. I'm looking forward to it as well. So
follow you on social media. So I know your focus is mattresses, better sleep for people, but you also have furniture in addition if anyone's interested. And what I really like is you show the furniture and then people can just call and ask for the pricing. You guys are really about fair, honest pricing. You also said something earlier that you guys don't get all dressed up. You guys are just laid back. It's more of a laid back environment.
we
Um,
we really are. I mean, you're here to buy mattresses, furniture. You're not here to buy us. You can buy into us and laugh with us, because we'll joke with you while we're here. But yeah, you're here to save the most money that you can possibly save and get the product that you want, and that's what we're here to do.
Awesome. So tell us what you love about your wife. I would love to hear that. I'm sure she'd love to hear it too.
Yeah, my wife's special. She's a speech pathologist, and she works with the geriatric population. And I just couldn't do what she does. She every day she helps people and serves people, and she's just the most giving woman that I know. She's so helpful and just a great mom. And I couldn't ask for anything more. Actually, she's done so much to help me maintain my role in the business, and so much outside of the home to with the kids and everything, to really give me the most opportunity that I could ever have with this business. So I owe a great deal of credit to her. I really do.
That's awesome. Do your kids come to work with you, or did they when they were little?
They do, and it's some of our clients still remember me bringing them in the car seat years ago, and they do ask how the kids are now. So they've been to work with me a lot. You got to start them early these days.
They're either going to love or hate mattresses.
That's true. That's true.
Little entrepreneurs in hand. Have they been in any of your advertising commercials, or have you incorporated them?
I have not yet. We do have one awesome picture of the two of them together with the My Ultimate Mattress shirts on. So that was kind of their marketing moment. And it's funny. My daughter Stella, she does pretend interviews and for business interviews, and she tells you about her companies that she's come up with. So I think we've got a little entrepreneur in the making.
Wow, that's exciting. So what little, I love it. She sounds like someone I love. What little companies does she pretend to have?
One of her ideas was a car wash. She had a car washing company. So she said that you could bring your car there and you'd have the cleanest car in all of the towns.
That's so cute. What else has she envisioned doing for business?
Let's see. Most recently, she was doing a pizza interview. So I came in on the tail end of that. She was doing that with some friends. So I'm not sure about that, but the car wash thing was the main thing that I recall her doing. So
Pizza and car wash, we all need it, right? We all like it.
Yeah, maybe.
We all like to have our car wash. We all like pizza, so she's on the right track.
Absolutely.
Maybe you need to have a car wash pizza day over there at My Ultimate Mattress.
Sounds good to me. Very compelling, different.
Maybe that's what you need to do. So any other fun facts you want to share about you, or?
I do like to do a little karaoke here and there and fish and, the outdoors. So I consider myself a pretty fun guy. just like to have fun with life. And, I don't like to sit around being idle or anything like that. I always like to be doing something. So that's oddly enough, I'm in the sleep business and promote rest a lot, but it's not something that I do a whole lot of just because it's essential and you do need the rest. But I definitely like being on the go and being active. That's the life I like to live.
I had this vision of you karaokeing and fishing at the same time. That's probably not what you do, right?
No, but I could karaoke and fish while laying on a mattress. That would be a pretty good promo. So.
Don't they have you could probably fish from a little kiddie pool, right? That would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well a mattress would float, but I'll come up with something. So that's a good thought. So.
It'll be fun. Well, no, you can have people sit on your mattress and fish in those little kiddie pools with the little fish.
Oh, that's right.
Don't they have that at fairs or whatever? I don't know.
They do. They do.
They do. Okay. I don't know. I was trying to recall what they had at the fairs. I haven't been to one in a little while. So, any advice for people when they are out shopping for a bed? Because I know when I started on that journey, I was completely clueless and my research nerdy side of me came out. So what advice do you have for people when they're looking at buying a bed?
I think that's an excellent point that you make, just the research aspect of it. Of course, you do want to do a little research, but you don't really want to overwhelm yourself with knowledge of the mattresses. There's intricacies there that will just never impact your life at all. But that being said, it's good to have an open mind when you go out there, because like I said, we don't carry some of the higher brand names that you may have heard of. So it's good to keep an open mind, because a lot of times you will find a better product from some smaller companies. So I think that's the biggest thing. And just also knowing that you don't have to invest thousands of dollars to get quality sleep. You really don't. And I think that's kind of the downside to large retail stores, if they've really pushed the high dollar beds, into the thousands, and have really, a lot of people have benefited, but I think a lot of people have also been tricked into spending more than they ever intended to spend, and that has to wear on them and not allow them to sleep to their full potential, I believe. So those are a couple things.
Well, I noticed your beds, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they were typically under $500.
We have a wide assortment of beds from $299 to $599. So you really can get a very good quality bed in that price range. Of course, you can go up or down. We have models, in other price ranges as well. But that's kind of the meat of our lineup, and you can actually get a good bed in that price range.
So how do you determine, because I know there's pillow top and there's memory foam, and so how do you determine, do you have a set of questions that you ask people, or do you just have them try it out? Or tell me how does someone know what kind of bed is good for them?
Yeah, and this will be kind of a dumb answer, but ultimately they want to buy the mattress that's most comfortable to them. But initially, absolutely, there are when they come into my store, we don't direct them right over towards the best-selling mattress. We first ask, what they're in need of, how they're sleeping. We want to know more about them, about their lifestyle. Just know more about them, so we know, kind of where to steer them. But ultimately, they're going to make the decision. But definitely, that's something that we really are attentive and listen to their needs before we start directing them towards the best seller or to the highest price bed in the store, because that's the one mattress is not the right mattress for everybody. So
I agree. I totally agree.
You have to listen and see what their needs are.
Well, that's good, because I know in the past when we've went bed shopping, nobody really asked. They just say, "Oh, try them out, see what you want." Like you said, $3,000 for a bed. But what I'm hearing people saying is, we bought a bed and it's no longer comfortable for us, or we thought it was the right one and it wasn't. Do you guys seem to eliminate that issue?
I think we do. It's rare that we have an issue where it's a comfort issue. I know a lot of stores do a 90-day, 100-day comfort guarantee, And I think that's great and all. That also puts a lot of used beds back out in the market, and that just get recycled, people buying up. And that's not the kind of business that we want to be involved with. But I think definitely that we eliminate that some on the front end just by asking questions and figuring out what they need, not what we think they may want. So
That's perfect. I love it. So how often should someone change a mattress? Because I remember as a kid going to my aunt and uncle's. I remember going in their bed and I could feel the wires and you sink in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've had this bed for 20 some years," and it just doesn't seem normal. So what's the average time frame for a bed?
now, 20 years is definitely not normal.
Okay, I didn't think so. I thought, how can you sleep on this?
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people heard this, and it's true. 7 to 8 years. If you get 7 to 8 years of good wear out of a mattress, you've done really well. There are those that are not going to get 2 to 3 years out of their mattress. Some people will get longer than 8 years, but that's a good median, that 7 to 8 year mark. And there are different mattresses that will last longer than others. Generally, a two-sided mattress will last longer than a no flip style, because you can flip and rotate. That's more of the traditional style, but you do get more even wear on that type of bed if you flip and rotate on schedule. So there's pros and cons to the different styles of beds, but
okay.
but as a benchmark, the 7 to 8 years is a good mark to go by.
Okay, no, that's really good to know. I didn't know. I didn't know if it was like 5, 10. So
20 years too long.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who do, and it's probably time they need to reevaluate because it can mess with your back. I just learned something from an expert saying when your back's out, actually can mess with your eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many things, doctors and scientists are discovering. So it's really important to have that good night sleep. And I'm glad you're not out there constantly recycling. Hotels, how often do hotels typically switch out their mattresses?
That's a great question. We have sold to some hotels, and I would like to think that they do it on a more regular basis than the average consumer. But I would say every 2 to 3 years typically for a hotel. But give or take, they do take a lot of wear and tear in those type settings. So.
Mm-hmm. And I think more and more people are leery of recycled or used bedding, simply because I know of bug issues and bug problems. So it's always good. I mean, and at your price, it's just kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, buying new versus used, it doesn't even make sense to buy a bed that's been in someone else's home or in another state somewhere. And that's big business. The refurbished, recycled mattresses, the closeout styles. It's big business, but my hope is to actually vilify that in a way that it helps the new bed sales, because those beds can the used beds, they can certainly present a problem, and you're already buying a bed that's worn, so who knows if that bed can give you the support that you need. My guess is probably not. So.
Well, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head. So let's say someone bought a bed that's $599, so call it $600, and it lasts, let's say, 6 years. So that's $108 a year. That's like $8 or $9 a month, right? Am I doing this right?
Very affordable. Very affordable.
I mean, if you really look at the big picture, it's worth $8 or $9 a month. I mean, gosh, how much does that even break down to per day? I don't even know. Quarter? I don't know.
Something like that. It's yeah, you're right. It really is a no-brainer. And just the fact of how sleep does impact every aspect of your life. I mean, it just for one single investment to make that much difference, it's certainly worth making a sound investment in.
Cool. Awesome. Random question I didn't see on your website. Do you guys have like sheets or comforters that you sell? Do you have anything of that sort?
No comforters yet, but we do sheets, pillows, mattress protectors. So we do have several accessories that go along with the mattress products here.
Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. Well, I am so grateful for our time. Anything else you want to add, David? Or
I appreciate the opportunity to do this. It's been a lot of fun, and this is just it's just a wonderful experience, and I appreciate your time so much, and appreciate the questions and the opportunity to connect with everyone. So.
Well, I'm grateful for all the good you do in this world, and I can't wait to have your story in the book. So Thank you so much, David, for all the good you do in your purpose. But we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye, David.
Thanks for having me. Bye bye.
Bye.